Hey there, Haley Schulteis, nurse practitioner with Brio Med Spa and Wellness, coming to you for a quick minute today because I want to talk about labs. What labs do we check? You may or may not have heard me reference at some point in the past that there's a pretty comprehensive lab panel I check here. Patients say, what are you checking? Let's talk about it. So from the top, we look at a CBC. CBC is complete blood count. This is going to be your red blood cells and your white blood cells. We look at a CMP, comprehensive metabolic panel. This is your kidney and liver function, your electrolytes, tells us what your glucose is doing. I look at vitamin B12. This is a water-soluble vitamin. I look at vitamin D, which is a fat-soluble vitamin. Both are very important for foundational functions within the body, so I like to check those because if we're deficient, it makes sense to fix them. So we look at a CBC, a CMP, we look at some vitamins, we look at a thyroid panel. And by thyroid panel, I mean I'm looking at several different markers to tell me the function of the thyroid. Number one being TSH. This is thyroid stimulating hormone. This is actually released by the pituitary gland in the brain in response to what the thyroid gland itself is producing, which is thyroid hormones T3 and T4. So I check those as well. One of the things that makes me different, however, though, is I routinely check for TPO antibodies. TPO antibodies are some no good fellas that are walking around hanging out with a whole lot of us, and these are antibodies against our own thyroid. So creates a lot of issues. I diagnose it once or twice a week just by checking this lab, and that provides a foundation for me able to help people get better. So we look at these, we look at free and total testosterone in both men and women. Testosterone is an important sex hormone for both, yes, even women. I look at an estradiol, again, in men and women. I look at a PSA in men alone. And then an FSH. FSH is follicle stimulating hormone, again, released by the pituitary gland in response to what the ovaries or the testicles are actually producing. So this is a very foundational lab workup that we do. Sometimes I do add on additional labs based upon a history and physical, but again, this is just very foundational. We can check for food sensitivities, we can check for gluten sensitivities, allergies, we can check cortisol levels, folate. There's just a lot of different things that we'll add on for various reasons. But again, this is just the basics. If you have any ideas, questions, topics that you want us to talk about, please shoot them to us in a message or in the comments below. Thank you.